So let me ask you this. Do you end up skipping meals all day long and then just find yourself emptying the fridge at the end of the day? Are you so confused in terms and focused in your business that your food kind of takes the back seat only to find yourself gain weight through the process? And do you ever use food as a reward, as a break, as to deal with the emotions? So instead of getting those emotions out, you might tend to bottle them in and stuff them in with food. And do you ever see the scale keep creeping up every single year? No matter how many diets you tried, no matter how much restriction you did, no matter how much counting calories you're doing, everything keeps going up. Now, if you're here right now and you're still with me right now, then I would love for you to stay until the end of this Facebook Live. Because today I'm going to be covering the 5 tips that actually end emotional eating. Let it be you're a woman, you're a man, you've been having it for a year in terms of emotional eating, you've been with it for 50 years. I actually have a 5-step process, the 5 pillars, to actually start looking at your health as a business and to make it a priority and bring that change as well. So if you're enjoying in terms of what I'm saying right now, I would love for you to share this video and like it. And if you're here, do mention me a hi and where you're from. Because my mission this year is to really help take away all that guilt that we have regarding eating, labeling food as good food or bad food. I want to bring simplicity as much as possible. Because I do want to make sure that you heal your relationship with food and that you actually find that healthy balance for your body so you feel great right now and not wait until you seek that miracle number on the scale. So I would love for you to stay with me. It's going to take 15 minutes. I'm going to walk through the 5 pillars and there's going to be an amazing freebie at the end. Trust me, this freebie is a must. It's rare that I offer it and I'm going to tell you at the end how you can actually get access to win that prize. So if you want to get that gift, that freebie, and you want to be part of the draw, number 1, share this video. We're going to just be talking about health, nutrition, and a lot of other things that can affect a lot of people, and I would love for the message to be out. Like the video or love it. Loving it is always great. And also stay till the end because I might have a nice little gift for you at the end. Actually, I might not have. I actually have it for you. So who I am. I'm Dina Marabi. I'm a health strategist with over 17 years experience helping women and men that are emotional eaters become normal eaters without dieting and without restriction so they actually find a fulfilled life and they feel great in their body and they're able to reach their healthy weight. I've gone through it. I've had thousands of clients go through it and I'm going to share with you right here, right now what those 5 pillars are. Getting my sheet because I want to make sure I am not missing anything. So step number 1, before you jump on anything, you want to make sure that you're in the right mindset. Now it's not motivation, I am talking mindset. Because did you know that motivation has nothing to do with success? Nothing. Motivation does not exist. Motivation is actually a feeling. And when you want to feel that flow of motivation, if you want to reach a goal, you actually have to bring 2 things that are very important to you. 2, you need to be disciplined and you need to be consistent. Because you might not be in that feeling of motivated every single day to go towards your goal, but if you promise yourself that you're going to be disciplined and consistent with the changes you're going to be doing, that is actually something that you can control and that will help you reach your goals. And if ever you find that consistency and that discipline might be a little bit hard, don't hesitate to message me. We can try to see together what would be best for you. Because again, nothing here that is shared is a cookie cutter. It gives you the base, but everything can be personalized regarding what you're seeking. So if you're ready to make that change, and if you're with me so far, just comment yes below. And remember, motivation is something that's just a feeling. We want to focus on discipline and consistency. And so we don't forget, I'm going to write it right in the comments. Discipline and consistency. Perfect. Number 2, you want to look at food, but as a nourishment and not as a restriction. Did you know that 65% of dieters actually suffer from emotional eating? Did you know that 85% of women think about food, even when it's not mealtime? after, between, and even dream about it? Did you know that when you're going through a diet, when you're going through a restriction, when you're trying to follow this cookie cutter type of plan, it actually increases your hunger, brings food kind of in a good or bad list, and actually might slow down your metabolism. So if you combine increased hunger, slower metabolism, and giving food like a bad rep, what happens when you drift off from the plan, when you slip? You actually go for those foods that have been forbidden for so long. So dieting actually is a billion-dollar industry because it keeps you in that cycle of restricting, maybe losing a little bit of weight, being very hungry, slow metabolism, overeating, binging, and gaining more weight than what you lost. And when we say like, let's be done with dieting, it has nothing to do with letting go. Instead of dieting, let's nourish the body. And when you nourish the body, there isn't one size fits all. Maybe for you, it will be paleo, maybe it will be keto, maybe it will be blood sugar stability, maybe it's going to be vegan, vegetarian. There isn't one plan I'll tell you, this works for everybody, because there's not one plan that fits for everybody, because you are different and you have a different genetic makeup than your neighbor. But you really need to find that plan that actually fits you. It's not for you to fit the plan, it's the plan to fit you. And if you're ready to bring that change of seeing food as a nourishment, to be done with the restriction, to be able to have a cookie and not eat the whole box, and to actually have a box of cookies in your cupboards and you end up forgetting that they're there and they go stale. This is actually results that I actually have with my clients. I would love for you to message me. If there ever is anything I can help you with, I can actually help you build a personalized health plan for you that I do for every one of my clients, no matter what. Perfect. Thank you for joining. So this is the thing, when we say yes to the mindset discipline, we're really making that change. And second, and I'm going to write it down so we don't forget, it's nourish your body. Nourish it. When you feed it, like you would take care of a baby, the only thing your body is going to do is actually take care of you. It's really that simple and yet that complicated, because we need to kind of get rid of a lot of information that we got. So if you're watching this live, you're watching in the replay, I would love for you to share one word that comes out with this nourish your body. Anything. There's no good or bad. That doesn't exist. This is something that society has imposed on us. But what do you feel is kind of connecting with you when it comes to nourishing the body so far? I would love for you to comment right below. Step 3 of the pillar. This is big. This is something that we don't talk about in the dieting world. This is something that I was not even trained in my 4 years of university. Emotional eating is a learned mechanism, and you're not born with it. Nobody is born an emotional eater. So sometimes you might say, I've had this for a long time. I've had this since I was a young age, because there's something that happened in your growth process, in your environment, that actually put food as a comfort, as a coping mechanism, as a go-to, as a soothing aspect, so many things. But when you look at food that you're not actually born with this, you can actually unlearn it. But before you unlearn it, you need to make sure that your body has a strong foundation, that's well nourished. Because when your body is not properly nourished, it can bring in that emotional eating out of hunger and lacking nutrients. But when you take care of that nourishment and you have the right plan that fits you, then we're ready to tackle the emotional situations that you feel it's like a straight highway. I feel sad, go for the cookies. I feel anxious, I bake myself a cake. Exhausted, I go through a drive-thru. So all these are mechanisms that are learned, and we can actually unlearn them. And the first step to unlearn them is to actually start building a list of activities that you can do to help change that highway, change that process of going straight to the food. So I would love for you, as one of the tasks, is to make sure that you list 3 activities that you find for you are helpful, that you find they can help you ease the stress, that can maybe delay the emotional eating as a first part, because already delaying it is a big success. And I'm going to share with you my coping mechanism, because I did go through emotional eating. And there are those moments when sometimes you feel you're a bit off and the food kind of comes back and you're like, no, why am I doing this? Let me go back to my winning activities. So when you look at pillar number 3, I'm going to write it down in the comments. How did I write it? Healthy coping mechanisms. And mine, whenever I'm feeling anxious, when I'm feeling stressed, whenever I feel like I'm sitting down all day and brain is mush and I need a break, I actually go walking. My go-to is walking. Let it be -30, let it be +30. And one great thing is that now I'm kind of obliged to go walking 3 times a day because now I have a cute little dog. But I got the dog as well because I need to bring that walking and I need to be accountable to somebody. And I'm actually accountable to my dog. And that has changed my life drastically. So I'm not saying go and grab yourself a dog, as much as there's many that want to be rescued, but you want to see what is your go-to activity to help you in terms of coping with any anxiety that you're having. So if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay and you're watching the replay #replay, I would love for you to share some activities because sometimes you might say, well, this is obvious, I would do this, but whatever you're sharing might actually help somebody else. Let it be walking, reading, scrapbooking, doing videos, editing. There's so many things that you can do, but you need to make sure that they feed you emotionally and not that you have to force it. It should always be fun. Number 4, social media is great, but it can have a lot of challenging at the same time. So when I'm talking about our pillar number 4, you want to go through a detox. And again, we're not talking about food detox. We're talking about environmental detox. Yeah. Because depending which environment you're in, you can actually choose what comes at you in a certain way every day. And if you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do, I'm guilty of this, it's very hard sometimes, you open your internet, you open your newsfeed, you check the Facebook, you check your Instagram, you see all these pictures, all these food, all these before and after pictures, and it can be quite exhausting. If you open your email, all you get is all these newsletters that you had the greatest intention to follow through, but it's giving you more anxiety. The thing with now is that you don't need more information. We have so much information, and yet emotional eating and eating disorders is on the rise. We have so many health plans, and yet it's a challenge for everybody. And the reason for that, because when you're bombarded with so many different things, you're not able to focus on one thing. It causes an attention deficit when it comes to information. So I want you, as a homework, to go through your newsfeed, to go through Facebook, everything that you have, even books that are around the house. And whenever there's anything around you that brings you anxiety, that makes you stressed, that makes you feel like you're not worthy enough, you're not trying enough, you should have just tried this diet, or you have all these people, the before and after pictures, which we need to really stay away from to really connect to what our body needs. The most important thing is to unsubscribe. Yes. Even if you have friends that post a lot of things that kind of bother you, you can just unfollow. You don't have to unfriend them. But you want to make sure that when you're going through your newsfeed, that you're going through Instagram, that you're actually getting things that are motivating and not making you feel guilty. And if you can, follow one person that you believe in. One. All you need is one person, one coach, one fitness instructor, one mindfulness expert. You need that one person that whenever you read their post, you want to be a better person and you feel better seeing the post. You don't want to feel guilty. And when you go through that process, you're actually clearing up all that clutter around you and you're choosing your time. You're choosing what comes into your world, into your bubble. So when we talk about detox, we're talking a lot about the environmental detox. And the easiest thing is really social media to make a clean up. So I would love for you to do that today if you can. If you're joining live or joining on the replay, #replay, I would love for you to write 1, okay? Your task for today is to actually unsubscribe from one thing in your newsfeed. 1, just 1. That's all you have to do. Already that is a big, big start. For example, me, one thing that I actually tried to detox is there's a lot of information, newsletters, lead magnets, and so on. It's overwhelming. It actually made me get more anxious because I felt I wasn't able to do everything, and then it actually affects my confidence. but it has nothing to do with me. Why am I bombarding myself with all that information? You pick one person and you follow that one person. And just by focusing, guess what happens? You succeed. Think like an athlete. They don't change coaches every 2-3 days. They have one coach and they focus with that coach and they trust that coach. So you need to find that right coach for you. If any of this resonates with you, and if you feel like looking at my Facebook Lives or my social media posts, if you always feel positive, if you always feel like you can be better, you can feel better, you can actually accomplish what you want, message me. I would be more than honored to actually get on a free call with you and to see if we can work together. Because I want to clean up all that clutter around. And if you feel like we can be a great fit, that I actually help lift you up, message me. I would love to connect with you. And let's write our pillar number 4, which is environmental detox. Great. Step 5. Step 5 is the most important thing, okay? And why I'm mentioning it right now, because now we went through the 4 pillars, and now you need to see step number 5. Are they all 4 pillars that you are thinking about, are they aligned to you? The thing is, whenever you make a change, you want to kind of make it for the long term. When you're building a house, you're not building a house for a year. You want it to stay strong. So you want to make sure that you get the right foundation, the right drains, the right instruments, and so on, just to make sure that it fits and it works and it stays up for the long term. You maintain it, making sure that you're painting, you're changing the roof, you're mowing the lawn. You're always doing these things that take care of the house. So whenever you're looking at your body, you want to look at your body and your health as a house. Whatever you're bringing in as nourishment, as information, and whatever steps you're doing to make a change, are they aligned to you that it becomes a way of life? Do you maintain, like going and checking your doctor every year, getting your blood test, maybe touching base with your dietitian once in a while, and making sure that you're active with a trainer? There's all these things that we, as humans, our body needs to maintain its progress, to stay healthy and balanced for the long term. So whatever change you're bringing in, let's say when we talk about the mindset, what your habits are, the way you're nourishing your body, how you bring in those healthy mechanisms, right? The way that you declutter, detox your environment. You want to make sure that when you go through every single one of these steps, you're like, I can do this for the long term. And if every step you say, I can do this for the long term, when you get to step number 5 and seeing what do we need to do on a yearly basis, maybe just to make sure everything is good, like we're maintaining a house, this is true success. Because we don't want to go dieting. We don't want to get on that roller coaster. We don't want to keep going in that billion-dollar dieting industry. We want to set your own terrain. You want to build your own house and make sure that you maintain it for the long term, because you're going to be putting some work into this. You're going to be putting some effort into this. And wouldn't it be great that it becomes effortless, everything that you're doing, because it is so aligned to you? And this is the aim when you look at the 5 pillars. Everything that I help with my clients, I make sure that whatever we're working on, I tell them, are you 110% sure that this really feels good with you? If it doesn't, let's talk about it. What can we change? What else can we add? Because you have those 5 pillars, but whatever you build up on that, it's totally up to you. And I love talking about your health as a business, because it is a business. Your body, you only have one. We cannot return it. We cannot exchange it. So why not build it healthily, clean up everything that we're informed, and make sure that we're nourishing it in a positive and a healthy way, so that we feel actually we're at a balanced weight to prevent diseases, to prevent disorders, and to be able to clear up the food thoughts, to be able to focus on life, on business. This is the most important thing. We have one life to live. And if you think about food 24 hours 7, if it's actually affecting your outings, if every time that you go out and you have a piece of cake, you end up coming back home and binging, if you feel that you're not able to focus on your business because you're exhausted and you have migraines, let's make a change together. Let's work together. I'm going to post right under this video a link to my programs. There's 2 ways to work with me. There's an introduction and there's the signature program that is honestly my baby, my pride and joy, because this is where I've really seen business women, emotional eaters, busy women, even men, go from exhaustion, fatigue, overweight, overtired to balanced, focused, confident, empowered, and successful. And we're able to make that process together. But you want to make sure that whatever I'm telling you and whatever I'm sharing here, it resonates with you. And if you're here till now, I did talk about a free gift in the beginning. So there's a lot of information out there, and you might not know a little bit about me. But I do want to offer this free gift because I want to give this one lucky person out there that I am meant to connect with a free session. So the only thing that you have to do to win a free 1 hour session that's actually valued at $200, we're going to spend 1 hour together. We're going to kind of dive deep a little bit in terms of what you're going through and actually give you a game plan. It's not just 1 hour and then you're off. I give you a game plan and I touch base with you a week later to make sure everything is nice and clear. And if you want to enter the draw, there's a few things that I would appreciate for you to bring in. Number one, sharing this video, and if you can tag me on it, like that I can see if there's any comments on your share so I can actually reach out and help others that might need it. Second, I want you to also like or love this video. And third, I want you to share what would be an aha moment from everything that I said. Because there's so many things that I mentioned, but just share one aha, one thing that you're like, oh, really? And just share it in the comment below. And you have until Friday, 6 p.m. to enter this draw. And whenever you watch this after, remember, you can always find different ways to work with me, to connect with me. And again, just looking at your health as those 5 pillars, it can already drastically change your life and your relationship with food. So I'm really happy for those that were able to join live. I'm happy if you're here watching the replay. Just hashtag replay if there's any questions, any comments. And again, feel free to share this personally on your Facebook page, because really want to kind of declutter all that information, and everything that is shared here is tested and it's true, and it's not a cookie cutter approach, because my aim is for you to actually be free from dieting for the rest of your life and actually feel great in your body. Isn't that great? And while eating your favorite foods. So till then, my name is Dina Merby. I'm a health strategist and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.